Are you sure he's not just pausing to collect himself because he's talking about his deceased son that he loved? Shut the fuck up. Shut your stupid liberal face up. You are not this person. No one is this person. I am refusing to entertain that there is a person like this right now at this stage that still maintains the position that Biden actually was just simply emotional.
So during this time when you were living in Chambers Road and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden or the cancer booster shot or your book, where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18 area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president. It's not a mean thing to say. I mean, he just thought.
What you are seeing here is a man demonstrating how perfect his brain is. Okay, that's right. What you're watching here is a man who doesn't have a PhD in foreign policy. He's just that brilliant. Okay, what you are watching here is a man who does not have a PhD. You might think he has a PhD because he's that fucking good. Okay, but he doesn't have one.
That she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did, and so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. If I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die? May 30th, 2015. Was it 2015 he died?
2015.
I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime is that Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So...
Dude, I hate everyone involved in this. It is so crazy. What do you think her thought when he heard this shit? He must have been like, dude, this guy has the nuclear launch codes, man. This motherfucker has the nuclear launch codes. Like, that's crazy. You're just sitting there, and this guy that you have understandably said is too incompetent to sit for a trial because a jury would look at him and go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's demented. That guy's the president. Maybe that's why Trump kept talking about the auto pen, because he's like saying that Biden is so brain dead that he doesn't even know what he was signing. God, and the liberals, they fought me so hard on this. God damn. They fought long and hard. God damn, they fought so much. They fought every step of the way on this. Do you think the hair feels nice on the back of his neck? Like right here? Yeah. He has such a weirdly shaped head at this point because it's like he's just so old.
Why not 2017 here?
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Yeah, okay. But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay, yeah. Correct. And in 2017, Bo had passed, and this is personal. The genesis.
The audio shows that the transcript lack Biden's dry whisper voice and the long silences as he struggles to speak and remember details. Those often were supplied by his attorneys who acted as caretakers of his memory. There's also a clock on the background as a metronome. That's crazy. Tick, Boet pass, tick, tock, tick, tick. This is personal. Tick, tock, tick, tick. The genesis, tick. God damn. Is this a recent interview? No, dog. This was the investigation that was being conducted when he was president with special counsel Robert Hur. Biden was questioned about his documents and where he kept the documents. Remember there was a whole... This is in 2023.
The book and the title, Promise Me Dad, was a...
Are you sure he's not just pausing to collect himself because he's talking about his deceased son that he loved? Shut up. Shut your stupid liberal face up. You are not this person. No one is this person. I am refusing to entertain that there is a person like this right now at this stage that still maintains the position that Biden actually was just simply emotional. And what's next? A stutter? Are you going to say he was stuttering? Dog, he doesn't know when his son died. What are you talking about, dude? He does not know when his son died. He didn't know what year Donald Trump was elected. This is why you know every single person that was like, oh, we didn't know he was this bad is just a liar, okay? You know when he's like, you know when everyone's like, well, behind closed doors, he was a dynamo. Yeah, this is the behind closed doors. Doesn't seem like a dynamo.
I know you're all close with your sons and daughters, but Bo was like my right arm.
Bro, he could not recognize George Clooney at an event that a fundraiser that George Clooney had put for him. Okay? Do you understand? Like, he's known George Clooney for multiple decades at this point. It's not just like random George Clooney, who is a very famous celebrity, and like, oh, maybe he hasn't watched Ocean's 11. You know, it's not like that. He's known George Clooney. George Clooney has been a major booster of the Democratic Party. He was throwing a fundraiser for him. He went to the fundraiser and he's like, who is this guy? Are you kidding me?
And that was my left. These guys were a year and a day apart, and they could finish each other's sentences. And Bo, I used to go home on the train in the period.
Dude, I can't make my judgment on Biden's senility until I see him blow out Jill Biden's back, as the Daily Mail famously reported, okay? Is he a sexual dynamo or not? Okay? Is he making that ass quake? Because then I will reserve my judgment until I know with conclusive evidence that he is blowing backs out, okay?
That I was still in the Senate. Anyway, there was not pressure. Bo knew how much I adored him. And this sounds so, everybody knew how close we were. There was not anybody in the world who wondered whether or not, anyway. And so...
Sir, I'm wondering if this is a good time to take a break. Briefly.
No, let me just keep going to get it done.
Was this memo, Mr. President, was this something that you...
Biden acknowledges keeping classified Afghanistan doc for posterity's sake.
consciously kept after your term as vice president? Is this something that you wanted to hold on to?
I don't recall. Did I have this? Was this in my possession, this memo?
Yes, to give you some context for this, Mr. President, it was found in the front of this notebook that's on the first page, and the notebook was found in the library at the Lake House in one of the drawers in the cabinet.
You don't recall.
I don't recall how it got back. I mean, I don't recall how it got back in the book because I sent it to the president. I gave it to the president. And this looks like the original. I don't think maybe there's a copy made of it, but I don't think so.
It was faxed, just to give you
Oh,
some
okay,
context.
that's why.
Yeah.
All right, now I got it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether I handed it to the president. It was faxed to the president, which I had the copy.
Right.
Okay.
You had the original.
Yeah, I had the original, and I just put it in the book, and that was it.
Okay.
His 5D chess, he knew he was in the wrong, so he played senile to avoid prosecution, and it worked. # Dark Brandon.
Were you aware that you had kept it after your term as vice president?
That's
Did
right.
you know that you had it?
I don't know that I knew, but it
Watch me.
It wasn't something I would have stopped to think about.
The reason I ask is it's been written about. Bob Woodward wrote about it in one of his books. Jules Whitcover wrote about it in his biography of you. So that's the reason I asked, is if it was something that you wanted to hang on to because it was going to be the subject of reporting or history.
I don't know if it would be subject to reporting, but I guess I wanted to hang on to it just for posterity's sake. I mean, this was my position on Afghanistan. I've been of the view, from a historical standpoint, that there are certain points in history, world history, where fundamental things change, usually technology. For example, without Gutenberg's printing press, Europe would be a very different place. Literally a different place, because countries would not have known what was happening in other countries. Think about a stupid idea, a notion. Nixon probably would have been president where he used to television, but where he's sweating, I mean sincerely, he was sweating so profusely in that debate. A lot of people thought he won the debate, but he lost the debate because of his demeanor.
Yeah, he was there, dude. Gutenberg, I was there. I was there when radio was killed by the video star. 99 Theses, Martin Luther. Not the black one. The other one. Good guy. Came up to the door of the church with a nail, said, "Watch me. I'm going to nail this like Jesus was nailed on a cross." Now, I'm Catholic, so I didn't like it when he did that. "I'm Irish, Jack." That's what I said. I said, "Look alive, Jack." Martin Luther. The day the world changed. Oh, man. Does it make you feel big and strong making fun of a man suffering from dementia? Is this really okay? My grandma died of dementia and you're disgusting? You ain't special, bitch. So did my grandma. Fuck you. Okay, guess what? She wasn't running the state. Okay? God damn, dumbass. We wouldn't let her behind the fucking wheel of a car, let alone give her the nuclear launch codes, dumbass. That's the reason why I'm making fun of the situation. The libs are still riding strong for Biden even after this audio. Seriously? You're upset that a man speaks slowly when he's reliving the death of his son? This isn't journalism. It's just a hit piece. Come on. Harry. Drop this, Harry. God damn. I don't understand why these guys are doing this. Hey, we know you fuck, Harry. Harry, you fuck. Okay? You don't have to play the song and dance no more. You fuck. You're out. You're out from the Democratic Party shooter brigade. You're done. You fuck. Okay? Leave the grips of the DNC, Harry. Be an independent, Harry. Nobody thinks you're gay no more, Harry. They know you fuck. And a lot. Quite a bit, as a matter of fact. You can't be out here behaving like the old Harry. The old Harry people thought was gay. That's the Harry that defended the Democratic Party. He should have come out and just been like, "Listen, I fuck. I'm a real hitter, okay? I'm a shooter, and shooters shoot." What's the relevance of him fucking? That's nothing. I'm just making jokes. Charlie Brown does indeed have hoes. Yeah, this is the one time where we were all wrong, okay? Charlie Brown, Harry Hasan, does indeed have hoes. He does indeed fuck. You understand me? Harry is like Sex Destiny? No, the fuck he's not. Absolutely not. At least all of the material that I looked at was exactly the opposite of Sex Destiny, where no, he was actually, one, consensual through and through, unless there's, again, I don't know everything. Maybe I missed something, but everything was consensual. And also on top of that, lame as hell for the most part. Material isn't like the allegations and shit. Don't fucking compare him to Sex Destiny. That's crazy. Yeah, he was breaking people's hearts. That's it. That was his biggest failure, biggest problem. Anyway, let's keep going.
So there's a lot of things that I think are fundamentally changing international society's function. And they relate a lot to technology.
Like it is, listen to me, okay? It is not illegal to consensually speak to another adult that you are consensually speaking to say, I'll fuck you raw after a wine tasting, okay? Hasan did that. And God damn it, if we're going to consider that illegal behavior, if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. Okay? What's up, honey? I'd love to read a little bit of NPR and then get down consensual style. That's the game he was kicking, dude. That's the type of shit he was saying to women on Snapchat. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, damn. That ass is fat from the hot tub, too. Let's NPR and chill.
And one of the things that I was of the view that a lot has changed in terms of everything from the internet to the way in which we communicate with one another, to that has fundamentally altered the ability. I've had this discussion with the press.
Mr. President, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do. It had nothing to do with Afghanistan.
Okay, that answered my question.
And Mark, just really quickly, I promise it'll be brief. I just really would like to avoid, for the purpose of a clean record, getting into speculative areas. When the president responded and said, I don't recall intending to keep this memo, you then said, well, might you have thought it was important to keep whatever? And he said, I could have. His recollection, as I understand it, is he does not recall specifically intending to keep this memo after he left the vice presidency. And I want these questions to be as clearly answered and recorded on the transcript as possible.
I think we should take a break at this point.
Yeah.